I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report and also virtual roadshows. And here we're for destination weddings and honeymoons. And of course, that you have to go somewhere for these destination weddings and honeymoons. And we have three great options here, and all of these destinations cater to the honeymoon and destination wedding market. And they can also help you in planning the great experience for your clients. So we're going to talk with them and spend some time with them. And first off, and just raise your hand when I say your name. We have from the U.S. Virgin Islands, Shana Whyte, who's the senior sales manager there. Hello, Shana. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Welcome.
Welcome and welcome to you. And from Saint Martin or Saint Martin, we have Nathalie Pinthiere-Brooks. I hope I said that
Yes,
right. Niche Markets
you
Officer.
did.
Oh, good. Well, I have a little French in my background, so that's all right. And finally, last but not least, from the Hawaii Visitors and Convention Bureau, we have Robyn Basso, who's the Senior Director, Travel Industry Partnerships. And we see you've probably seen Robyn all around at various trade shows over the years. We've been hanging out together in those trade shows forever. Anyway, let's get right to it. And can each of you briefly describe your island destination and what it offers? I'm going to start with you, Robyn.
Sure. Okay. Mahalo, James, and really appreciate the opportunity to be here with everyone. And as many of you may or may not know, Hawaiian Islands are actually made up of 132 individual islands. Don't worry, James, I won't talk about all of them right now. We are the
Well, you're not
longest
going
chain.
to ask me to name them either, right?
I'm not, I promise. So 132, longest chain of islands in the world at 1,500 miles, and the most remote chain of islands in the world. Travel advisors can sell, and your clients can visit six of those islands, which are the southernmost tip, the islands of Kauai, Oahu, Maui, Molokai, Lanai, and the island of Hawaii. And even though we are the most remote island chain in the world, easily reachable with great nonstop flights, not only from the West Coast, but from the Midwest and as far east as Boston, New York, New Jersey, and truly six unique islands, six very diverse experiences. And I always share that we're kind of so much more than just sun, sand, and surf. We have that kind of unique advantage. Being a US destination, we have that ease, convenience, and comfort of domestic travel, yet this incredibly exotic feel of the Pacific Islands. And it's a great destination for romance travelers. You've got this stunning natural beauty, luxurious accommodations, this unique culture, the welcoming spirit of aloha, and tons of great activities for romance couples. So it's really an incredible destination for those romance and destination wedding
And
clients.
yes, and it's famous in the U.S., but we also have amazing Caribbean islands too. And let's talk with Saint Martin Tourism. Natalie, tell us a little about Saint Martin, or you have two islands in one, if I recall.
Yes, you got it right. So, thank you for having me, James. So Saint Martin, for which I represent the French side of it, because we're the smallest island in the world, being divided between two nations. So this is one of our unique attributes. We have the Dutch at the south of the island, and then the French on the northern side of the island. We have two airports with connection to international flights. We work a lot with airports more on the east coast of the US. We also have direct flights out of Europe with Paris and Amsterdam. We are also a regional hub because when you come on St. Martin, what we like to promote is the fact that you get to discover way more than just St. Martin. On the excursions, you can go and visit Anguilla or St. Bart's. So all of that is also one of our uniqueness. And then the food, because we cannot speak about the Caribbean without speaking about food. We have our very own culinary festival, which is held every year from November 11th to the 22nd. And we invite renowned chefs from all around the world to come and exchange with our local chefs. And then we have all kind of entertainment going around during this time, really around the celebration of our culture, around food. And this will be the fifth year of this festival in 2025. And then, of course, because I mentioned that we have two nations on the island that cohabits together, we have an open border. So you can go from one side to the next without any type of checkpoints. And also we have about 122 nationalities that cohabit together on the island. So it's very multicultural.
Fantastic. And I know I've been to St. Martin.
Yeah,
One of
nice.
my favorite activities is watching the planes come in at the
Yep, you
airport,
have
which
it. The
is
iconic landing of the big aircrafts over the beach.
and
Yes.
then but then I quickly go to the French side, so I know I'm going to get some wonderful food. So that's it. But now let's talk with U.S. Virgin Islands. Shana Whyte, tell us a little bit. You have a few islands there too, if I remember.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, welcome to all the travel advisors and the colleagues. And yes, the U.S. Virgin Islands comprises of three main islands. Yes, we are kind of similar to the Hawaiian Islands, where we have tons of other islands that are not inhabited, but they're there. Of course, if you're able to go on excursions, you can visit them. But the three main islands for the U.S. Virgin Islands is St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. And they're all unique in their own way, with St. Thomas being the capital of the U.S. Virgin Islands and being a little bit more cosmopolitan. It's a little bit more busier. It's the shopping mecca of the Caribbean. It's the major cruise ship hub. But it's also known for its nightlife. It's known for some of the history. It's also known for having some of the nice luxury accommodations there in St. Thomas. But also St. John is the smallest of the three, a little bit more closer to St. Thomas. So a lot of times folks kind of tend to visit the St. Thomas, St. John combo, but St. John is known for its pristine condition of that island and its nature. Two-thirds of the island is owned by the national park. So it's great for those clients that are looking for that laid back type of feel, that type of experience. And then St. Croix is the largest of the three. But St. Croix, we like to say, is our cultural bearer of the destination. A lot more historical, deep in its culture, keep a lot of our history. It has two towns, Christiansted and Frederiksted. It has some unique influence from our Danish ruling prior to the US. So just a lot to do, a lot of snorkeling activities on all three islands. St. John is known for some of its snorkeling, the world's best beach, Trunk Bay. St. Croix is known for its diving and its delicious local cuisine and culinary aspect. So lots of things to do and see as far as the luxury destination market is concerned. Honeymooners, it's great. Any one of the islands is great. Easy to get to the destination from most of your major cities on the eastern seaboard. And of course, because we're part of the US, there's no passport that's required for any US citizen. So
That's
lots
true.
to come and see. Come down and explore and have
Yeah,
your
well,
destination wedding or your honeymoon with us.
I've actually been to all three of your island groups at one time or another. So I can't say I'm an expert
That's
in it,
good.
but I've enjoyed all my visits all the time. Now, I'm going to stick with you, Shana.
Okay.
Why is this your destination so popular for honeymooners and even for destination weddings, those planning it? And what are kind of the most popular places on the islands, in the islands for honeymoons or destination weddings?
Well, definitely one of the major factors, like I just mentioned up, is the fact that we're part of the US and no passport is required for US
Right.
citizens. So it's very easy for those folks to travel and come to get to us. So it's the ease of traveling. Definitely our breathtaking scenery, our romantic atmosphere. As well as we have a mix of accommodations. We do have the luxury, but then we also have secluded beaches and we
Right.
have our vibrant culture. And it just make it ideal for some intimate settings, or even if you wanted to have a grand celebration. Some of the locations that are, or places on the island that folks have used that are unique are some of our forts. We have forts
Yeah.
on St. Croix. We have forts in St. Thomas that folks have used as backdrops for their weddings. We also, folks have used our plantations. We do have some ruins in St. John. The Annenberg Plantation ruins has been known to be used for wedding
Sure.
celebrations. Some also great points in St. Croix. Sandy Point is a nice secluded beach, but it's good for sunset weddings. You also have Buccaneer over in St. Croix that has been known to have some unique a charming historical aspect to that particular venue. So you do have you folks that have some of their oceanfront venues. They've used it for their honeymoon suites. They also have a windmill that's on their property that
Oh,
has been used as
that's very
backdrops.
spectacular. Yeah.
Yep. So there's lots of things to do. Honeymooners have tend to come to us to enjoy some of our sailing and our snorkeling and the spa treatments and the private island excursions. So lots of things to do and see. Trunk Bay have been used since that has been the #1 beach in the world. So folks have kind of used that for their backdrops for some of their more intimate ceremonies. So lots of things to do and utilize our destination for definitely its scenery and its
Fantastic.
beautiful aspect of the
And
destination.
I know it, and it is fantastic. Now, Natalie, same question. Why is your destination so popular for honeymoons and those planning destination weddings? And what are some of the best places that they like for honeymoons and destination weddings?
Sure. So, St. Martin is really the perfect blend between the Caribbean charm and the French sophistication. This is how we would like the best descriptive information that we can give about to sum it up. In terms of beachfront villas, private villas that you can have, which is the best location for some families that come on the island to celebrate their weddings, or for honeymooners that want to come with a few selected members of their family. We see that happen a lot. So the beach of Long Bay here in St. Martin, which is known for for turtle nesting, sorry. This beach is really known for that, and we have a lot of honeymooners that have an attachment to nature that like to stay there so that they can actually have this beautiful spectacle in the morning. Early morning hours, they get to see the eggs hatching and the small turtles going out onto the sea, which is symbolic of their union actually stepping into the world as a newlywed couples.
Mhm.
So for honeymooners, we also have a wide selection of accommodation that is also on the high end and luxury sector. We have here, and like other many Caribbean islands, two seasons, high season and low season. So during high season, we have a lot of the bigger establishments, the five-star establishments that are very busy and known for all the entertainment that they put in place. So this is also something that you can tie to your stay here on the island. We also have a world-class gastronomy, like I mentioned earlier, the culinary powerhouse of the Caribbean. So you can have private chefs coming and also giving their services to the honeymooners and those celebrating their weddings.
Mhm.
Here also in St. Martin, you have a lot of selection of breathtaking landscapes. So we have here the fort here in Marigot. Maybe you have seen it, James.
Mhm.
The fort is also subject to be able to be rented out for special events. So we have not yet seen a wedding being hosted there, but we have already seen it be hosted for proposals and other major romantic events on the island. And then we have luxurious tropical gardens that can also be rented out for this wedding celebration on the island. We have a wide range of services here on island where we have from the decorator, the event planner, to the caterer of the event. All of those services, you can find the list here with us at the tourism office,
Okay.
or you can also find it online because we have also worked on making this list available for couples or planners that are interested in coming to the island. So you can really have a draft of an itinerary that you can offer to your clients, and then we can tweak it, work around it, and they can also get in touch with me directly through that platform so we can make sure that their vision come to reality.
Fantastic. And Robin, finally to you. I know there's nothing in Hawaii that people want to get married in. I mean, it's just There's no honeymoon places that
Uh,
we'll go on to the next we'll go on to the next question. Please go ahead. There's plenty of places I know.
No, I mean, Hawaii definitely is one of those, aspirational, one of those top honeymoon destination wedding locations. Beyond the beaches, you got these incredible waterfalls and mountain ranges and incredible volcanic landscapes and just, beautiful idyllic setting, for relaxing and romantic escapes. And one thing I love about Hawaii is that, it's an easy destination for multi-island vacations. Giving the couples or the destination wedding attendees that opportunity to experience multiple vacations in one, average flight 30 minutes island to island, so it makes it very easy. Couples can get married on one island and honeymoon on another, which I think is wonderful. And as my colleagues have said too, wide variety of accommodations really for every type of traveler. If clients want luxury, we've got incredible luxury resorts, a lot of renovated, refreshed product. We've got anything from Auberge to Ritz-Carlton, Rosewood, Fairmont, Four Seasons, or if people want to do something a little bit more affordable, great condominium products as well for those wedding guests. So a lot of different varieties. And what we're seeing more and more in Hawaii are resorts and hotels offering concierge level floors or towers, right? That give all those special amenities or special romance amenities with, champagne, private cabana dinners, couple massages, those kind of extra special amenities as well. And we do have, again, venues beyond the beach in terms of wedding venues. And I think that's one thing that my colleagues have shared as well. In Hawaii, you've got charming chapels, you've got beautiful botanical gardens, getting married next to a waterfall. So they do have wedding planners associated with resorts, that can take care of everything. But in Hawaii, we have a lot of independent wedding planners, so they can really create something very customized, work with all the local, on-island partners to really create something as simple or as elaborate as you want. And they do pay travel agent commission. So you don't have to become an expert in, weddings in Hawaii. We've got great, people that'll do that for you. And it's easy to get married in Hawaii as well. You just need a marriage license, from the state, valid photo ID, but there's no waiting period, no residency requirements, and definitely so much more to do, than beyond the beach too. I mean, you can go private stargazing in one of the most significant spots in the world for the study of astronomy, incredible hiking, heli hiking, aerial tours, helicopter fixed wing, outdoor couple spa experiences, a morning outrigger canoe paddle at dawn as the sun rises. So, or one of my favorites is night diving with the manta rays. So, I mean,
Wow.
so much to offer. One of the coolest things I've ever experienced. So, really lots to offer for romance travelers and destination weddings.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to skip the next question because we're running a little long here. But what trends, and I'll go to start with you, Natalie. What trends are you
Yeah.
seeing in terms of planning for honeymoons and destination weddings? Anything new?
Yes, sure. Following COVID-19, I think travel as a whole has changed. People travel differently. So I would say that overall we've seen a change. But when it comes to couples, we're seeing that now they're opting more for micro weddings, which is a new terminology that we're seeing emerging. So, and elopements. So couples are now more budget friendly when it comes to the size of their celebration, but the quality stays there. And I would say even the quality has evolved to become more even tight and elevated. And we're not saying that it is a bad thing, because we also believe that our product can definitely suit their needs when it comes to that. And so we have a lot of beachfront, pristine beachfront weddings being celebrated on private villas or five-star establishment like the Belmont La Samana that we have here on island. We also because our island is a hub for all these small neighboring islands such as St. Bart's or Saba, we are seeing now that couples, when they book their honeymoons on island or their weddings, and then they couple it with their honeymoon stay right after, they go out for their day trips on the island. So this is also a new trend that we're seeing that is emerging locally, and instant romantic events. So because, as I mentioned before, we opened our platform on our website at the St. Martin Tourism Office, We have couples and sometimes gentlemen that can request directly to us a special event that they would like to have set up on island. So
Mhm.
my role as the tourism office, I connect them with the right service provider on island so that the couple that is going to celebrate that event can get in touch with the right person. So we make sure that we follow that up and make sure that their event is being hosted on island, such as proposals, renewals, even surprise bachelorette parties. We really have it all. And those instant romantic events is also something that we're seeing that is emerging more and more into this time. I think because of technology and how easy it is to get in touch with people nowadays, they're trying to push really these events to be unique and hosted on island during their trip here on island.
Fantastic. Now that sounds like a lot of different options. Shana, in U.S. Virgin Islands, what are the trends you are seeing in terms of planning for destination weddings and honeymoons?
Yeah, some of the trends that we're seeing is kind of similar to what Natalie is experiencing over in St. Martin. We're seeing a lot of smaller, intimate weddings. Couples are now looking at doing smaller settings. They're going into some of the secluded beaches or even in some of the villas to now have, some of their celebrations. They're not being done on the largest scale as in, previous years. And also, too, we're seeing a lot of requests for eco-friendly and sustainability weddings. Clients are now looking for, venues that are more green. They're looking for, assistance from the local vendors as far as, coordinating everything for them. As well as, they're looking for zero waste.
Right.
They're trying to make sure that they're not wasting anything there at the destination. They're helping the destination, helping the economy to stay green. So we're seeing those trends there at the destination. Just in previous years, it used to be a lot more larger as far as destinations. They're coming with 50 people, 75 people, but now they're just more small and intimate and more personal. So we're there to assist them with all of that. We do have just like you said, some of the resorts that do have their wedding planners that are there for assistance, but we also have local wedding planners that can assist them with that as well. So they can assist the advisors with getting that set up for their clients.
Fantastic. And so great trends. And Robin, same to you. What are the kind of trends? I mean, we all thought, oh, maybe everyone knows what planning a wedding and or a honeymoon in Hawaii is, but I think there's some new things going on, right?
Yeah, and I agree with both Natalie and Shanna that we're seeing a lot of those same trends, the micro trends, the focus on sustainability. Definitely, we are seeing couples looking for more kind of eco tour type thing. They want to experience nature but protect it. Have those kind of very immersive experiences. Hawaii as more of an adventure destination, versus just kind of relaxing and laying on the beach, and also definitely some luxury and wellness experiences. We're seeing, couples want to really incorporate wellness into their experience. If that's spa treatments, yoga classes, meditation, we're seeing that as well. And people looking for unique wedding venues, which we already talked about. We're definitely seeing people doing something from botanical gardens to waterfalls to getting married in the lava fields, and really making it personal. I think, as Shanna said, incorporating for us in Hawaii traditional Hawaiian elements. If
Right.
that's a beautiful hula dance, if it's the beautiful specialty lei, the tea leaf lei, if it's a chant from a kapuna or an elder in the community, they're really looking to incorporate those very unique cultural elements to make their day really special. So just a couple of trends that we're seeing in Hawaii, but very similar to what my colleagues are seeing as well.
Mhm.
So some great trends, things that are new that you as travel advisors should consider. And that's my next question is what should really travel advisors consider when planning a honeymoon or destination wedding in your island destination? What are the questions they should ask? What are the things they got should be worried about if they're going to be worried? And I'm going to start with you, Shana. What are some of the things that you think they should be upfront with their clients and also make sure they got the right information?
Yeah, definitely. The advisors should be asking their clients, probing a little bit more, just trying to find out what their expectations are when they're looking to either having their destination wedding there or their honeymoon. What are they looking for? So definitely choosing the right island because it's three islands, but they're all unique and different. So St. Thomas is good. It has the luxury resorts, it has the nightlife, it has the accessible beaches, but then you might have a client that might be more for St. John, where it has, it's more nature, it's more intimate, has more scenic settings. That might be not the mix for someone. They might want to be over in St. Croix, where it's rich in the culture and the history and has secluded beaches, venues. So it's just really all depends on the client. So definitely asking the right questions to know if you're choosing the right island. Asking again so that you can know when is the best time to travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Right.
Our peak season is usually from late November to about mid-April. But that is also when you might experience the better weather because, of course, it might be, colder here on the mainland. And then, of course, the weather's awesome there in the Caribbean. But then now you might have the higher pricing, you might have more crowds. But that might fit well for someone, or you might want to offer for them to go in the off season, which is around, like I mentioned, it's going to be the latter part of April, maybe going into May and then going down to November. But then now you find it's going to be more affordable around that time, obviously. But then now you're running right into that hurricane season. So then you're not, you got to be keeping your eyes on that, or maybe planning around picking a particular date to make sure that you're not being hampered with any hurricanes. So definitely asking when they want to travel to know when to advise them. Getting a marriage license. It's very easy to get a marriage license there. There's no waiting period. There in the U.S. Virgin Islands, they just have to submit the application, send it into the court. There is a few days for you to, for processing, but upon their arrival, their license can be ready. So just making sure that they're aligning themselves in the appropriate time, giving the
Sure.
time for their licenses to be done. Definitely picking a venue and knowing which venue might be the best option for them based on, their needs. And then if they're going to work with, if they're picking a resort, if they're going to work with um, the destination wedding specialist there on the resort, or if they want to have a local flair, local touch by utilizing a local vendor. So definitely just asking the right questions, knowing what activities they want to do and what type of experience they want to have while they're there on their honeymoon, or if they're going for their destination wedding. Because once again, there's snorkeling, there's sailing, there's traveling between the islands, there's kayaking, there's sunset cruises, there's the hiking over in St. John, there's going through the forests and the tidal pools over in St. Croix. So just kind of finding out, just probing and asking the right questions, so that way they can plan the perfect destination wedding or the perfect honeymoon for their client.
Fantastic. A lot of things to consider and a lot of things to work. Robin, I'll ask you the same question. What should travel advisors should be on the lookout for? What should they consider when planning a honeymoon or destination wedding in Hawaii?
Same thing like Shana said. Number one, you really need to qualify the client and match them with the right island or island combination. That's key to really, because they all do have their own unique personality and flavor. I would find out how much time they have to travel, because that really determines, do we have enough time for one, for two islands? What are their expectations there? Of course, budget in terms of what types of accommodations or what type of wedding they're looking for. Keeping in mind all of those costs with venues efficient, all of those good things as well. Seasonality, I agree, is the same thing, because different seasons. Hawaii is very fortunate because we have very consistent weather. So the weather typically isn't a major factor, but July and August are two busiest months of the year. Lots of families, so a lot of times people want to go during that time, but they might not get the best airfares. It might be a little bit more expensive, a little bit more crowded. So if they got that flexibility, those shoulder seasons for us that are spring and fall are really a great opportunity if travelers have that flexibility. But the time, the budget, the type of experience, how many islands they want to visit, I would say would be the top things that advisors should really consider.
Fantastic. And Natalie, we'll ask the same question to you. What should they consider and make sure they know about before when they're planning a honeymoon or destination to San Martin?
Yes, thank you for the question. So just like Shanna said, because I believe that since our territories are very close by, it is very similar in a lot of areas. So definitely the season is the major factor to consider. When I'm saying season, I'm talking about the weather, because we have two seasons here on the island. We have the humid season, and then we have the dry season. So the humid season is usually between starting June and rolls all the way over to November. So this is also hurricane season.
Mm.
And it depends if it's an active season or not. And then after we have the driest season that goes from December up until May. And usually during high season as well, in terms of touristic frequentation, we have also limited accommodation due to the high demand. So this is also something to consider. And our high season is from November up until mid-April, just like Shanna mentioned. I would also say that the personality of the island also is a great factor to consider because even if we're small islands in the Caribbean, we each have our own personality.
Right.
So it is very important to get to know and get familiar with the destination that your client are considering so you can see which island will best fit their personalities
Got it.
and their expectation. Also, in St. Martin, we were actually one of the first islands to celebrate LGBTQ friendly weddings on island. So this is a very, very important aspect to consider. And in terms of marriage licenses, because we are a French territory, we usually require between 3 to 6 months ahead of the
Oh,
celebration
wow.
of marriage to submit the documents over to our government. So all of the information are available on our website. And so they can submit their request for the marriage license over to our government, and then we will answer them and send them back the approval if everything is in order. And then they are able to celebrate their wedding, and they will have their marriage certificate just as if they celebrated on US territory. They will just have to translate the document over in their languages. So all of that is available, all that tedious information are available on our website. I will not elaborate more on it. And of course, if you have any questions, I am reachable and I can get in touch and put any travel advisors in touch with the right services here at the government on the island.
Fantastic. Now, Shannon, I want to go to you to. I had a question earlier about what resources, but I really going to combine that with what sort of education and training do you offer to help travel advisors sell your island destination and specifically sell honeymoons, destination weddings, and romance travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands?
Okay, so some of the things that we offer to our travel advisors is our travel specialist program. We have one that we are going to be relaunching because we had one prior to, and we kind of just take it down for a second just to refresh it
Right.
and put up some new materials on there. And that's going to be launching in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that. But that is
Oh,
a
brand new.
program that we utilize. Yep, it's going to be a brand new program. But that is one of the things that we utilize to get advisors trained and knowledgeable about the destination, how they can sell it in the different niche that we offer. And once they complete those courses, they do get that certification. We do webinars and virtual trainings for those that want to do to learn a little bit more. We do them as a group if they choose to do it as a large group as far as travel advisors if they're grouped together one particular agency, but we also do one-on-ones. So if there's a travel advisor that wants to learn a little bit more about the weddings market, they have that one-on-one with our BDMs that can specialize in that for them, so that way they can learn on a personal level in a more intimate setting about how to sell the destination. What are the properties that that are offered, some of the venues that are are being considered for some of the destination weddings. We also do fam trips. So once a year, we do conduct a fam trip. That is obviously a great aspect for some of our advisors who have not been to the destination to kind of familiarize themselves and see the uniqueness of all three. As well as they can always visit our website. Our website is visitusvi.com, and that has a wealth of information that they can see different sample itineraries. They can see accommodations on all three islands, activities, dining options, things to do. So it's a whole wealth of information. And of course, they always have their BDM for their particular area that they can always reach out for further assistance.
That's great. A lot of resources there, a lot of education and training. I'm going to go to you, Natalie. Same question about St. Martin. What are the kind of education and training and resources you have for travel advisors to help them sell more honeymoons and destination weddings to St. Martin?
Yes, just like Shana, we also have an online training available on our website for agents. This training is the platform where they will be able to learn a lot about the island, all that we have to offer, and then answer a small quiz that will give them a rating so they can see if they've missed out on key information and where maybe they need to gain maybe a little bit more knowledge about the
Right.
island. They will end up getting a certification, and just so they know as well, they will also be on a list of agents that we can consider as well for fam trips, because we also like to make sure that when we are doing fam trips, we are also working with agents that have taken the time to find out and get familiar with the destination, so we can ensure that we have a real interest there. We also do have monthly newsletters that feature articles about romance in our accommodation sector. We also host webinars each year on different markets. We are on the European market, the South American market, and the North American market as well. So we do have webinars for all those markets. And of course, we have digital tools such as a digital brochure, and also they can download all information pertaining to a specific establishment if they're interested in having that as well. And then, of course, the fam trips, which are the best way for us to sell our destination.
Sure.
And for the honeymooners or the couples that are willing to get married here on St. Martin, we also now are noticing that people, they're really onto social media. They want to have that Instagram friendly backdrop and all of that. So because we're seeing this trend, we also decided to launch our very first Pinterest account.
Oh, wow.
So we will feed this page with pictures where we can showcase those key locations for romance, and so that they can already project themselves onto the picture and feel as if they're already on island celebrating their special event.
Well, I just hope they go after that. Put them on the picture. Just now. Oh, well, we went to St. Martin, but we really didn't. We were just making believe. So hopefully they don't do that. They got to go there too. So that's
Oh yes, they need to
yeah.
come.
Robyn, same question. I know you have a lot of training and education and a lot of resources for the islands of Hawaii. So tell us a little bit about that.
And same as my colleagues, we do have a great travel advisor website. It's agentswithans.gohawaii.com. If you've not visited, it'll take you under a minute. And we've got access to all the tools. We've got great statewide and island-specific information that you can easily share with clients. Sample itineraries. So we've got romance itineraries for each island. It gives you all those top things to do. An image gallery. We've got downloadable maps, which are fantastic for each island with a fillable PDF, so you can personalize it with your own recommendation. That's one of my favorite tools. We just launched our brand new Know Before You Go guides, one for each island, that you can share with your clients, embed in their itinerary so they'll know everything that they need to know before they head out to Hawaii. And definitely most importantly is our specialist program.
Right.
We really encourage engagement in that. It's 6 certifications, but we make it easy. It's online, mobile compatible. It's audio narrated to help with pronunciation. They can dazzle their clients with the state fish, the umu umu nuku nuku apua'a. Yeah, James.
Say that
Um,
3 times really fast, right?
I know.
So everyone learns different. We want them to have the confidence, be able to pronounce, all the Hawaiian words. But it's again, we make it easy. They can go through it. There's a resume tool, so they can really complete the course as their schedule permits. And not only will they come away with incredible knowledge, but some great business building benefits, including consumer referrals from our GoHawaii.com site. We've got exclusive webinars, opportunity to be considered for FAMs as well. They can use our specialist badge in their marketing. So lots of great benefits. And, we do execute some FAM trips. They're a little bit limited. So we also created another self-guided FAM opportunity.
Right.
It's called Imiloa, which means Explore Hawaii. So advisors can also create their own self-guided FAM program with our participating partners. So they can, if another FAM doesn't work for their itinerary, they can make sure they get to the destination and experience it on their own. So lots of great tools, digital, to really help them learn and grow their business to the Hawaiian Islands.
That's fantastic. And I'm just going to close out because you've already mentioned your websites, but I do want to remind people, Shana, the website that they can go to get all this information.
Yes, to visit our website, visit usvi.com. That is going to help them be a great tool of resource for them, as well as if there are on any social media platforms. We are on all of them, so they can follow us on X. They can follow us on Instagram. They can follow us on even TikTok. So they can follow us on any of those social media platforms as well to have additional resources that they can utilize.
Fantastic. And Natalie, the same question. What's the website, or I also should say social media, that they can find out more information about your island?
Yes, so we're present on all social medias. As for our website, it is st-martin, so which is spelled the French way, martin.org.
Fantastic. I can never remember the Dutch spelling, so that's good. The two A's, if I remember,
It's
Yes.
and
ways
an
Yeah.
and an E
yeah.
instead
So
of
that's
I.
it. And finally, Robyn, where is the website and social media that they can go to find out more?
Yeah, the agent site is agents. So agent with an s.gohawaii.com. Consumer site is gohawaii.com. And all the social channels, as my colleague mentioned, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the things, TikTok is following at Go Hawaii.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank all three of you it's a great panel. I appreciate the time you've taken. And now,
Thank
of
you.
course, you can go down to the virtual trade show floor and go to their booths, and you'll find out all this information and more. And it's and interact with them, and it's going to be great to learn even more about how you can sell destination weddings and honeymoons to Hawaii, to St. Martin, and of course, U.S. Virgin Islands and more. Again, thank you so much for participating. Again, hopefully I'll see you soon in your islands.
Sounds
Yes.
great.
Thank you, James.
Thanks. Thank you, James.
I'm
Mahalo.
Malo. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is for Insider Travel Report and for Virtual Roadshows.